Well, hello there, and good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I am Frost PDP, and this is Brigandine Grand Edition. Brigandine Grand Edition is a Japan-only sequel which came out in 2000 for the 1998 tactical role-playing game Brigandine Legend of Forsena on the PlayStation 1. We're playing on the Sword of Moonlight translation. It was published originally in Japan by Hearty Robin and by Atlus in the US. And what can I say about this game? Well, it's like Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy, not Final Fantasy, what was I going to say? Shining Force, Ogre Battle. It's like those games. It's an over-the-head tactical role-playing game. It'll cut to an anime scene in a minute or two, by the way. But I just want to spend a little more time talking about why I'm going to do this game, how I'm going to do this game. First of all, this is a game that's not easy to get, to say the least. I've seen price tags of $100 on it. Second of all, again, this is an English patch for a game that is in Japanese. Again, it's called Sword of Moonlight, and that requires some degree of technical skill and know-how to properly execute. But the Advantage Grand Edition, which doesn't have the English translation as opposed to the original, which does, is that, well, it's a more developed game. It's almost like Grand Edition isn't a sequel, but it's like a patched-up, expansion-packed version of the original game. It's got most of the same content with some new additions, and it's just better designed. I mean, it even had some multiplayer mode. I mean, wow, right? You know, I remember Dynasty Warriors having expansion CDs you can use, and this is sort of like that, only not Dynasty Warriors. I'm planning to do this series at least a little bit on my channel, but I did want to talk about why it came back into my mind after so many years, because this is a game that I've always loved, but never really had a chance to do a series on. Technically complicated, and I only just now have learned how to use open broadcast software well enough to do it. But the folks over at sociallygaming.com are coming up with a game called King's Gate, which is supposed to be a spiritual successor to this. And when I saw that come up, I was really sold. I'm going to try to include links in the description for this, but you know, I might miss out on something. So if you have anything to add, hit the comments up. And I'm just going to take us through this a little bit and talk about how this game is really played as much as I can in a short period of time. We're going to go to New Game. I might accidentally hit some wrong buttons. We're going to do Forsena's Story. That's X. Yep, see, wrong buttons. What is X on my Logitech chill stream is circle. We're going to do night difficulty because, frankly, I haven't played this game in forever, and while I wouldn't mind having the unlimited time mode so I could be sure to be able to show you the end of the game on the first go-through, although maybe that's a spoiler, the truth is that I do need a moderate challenge. Having an easy challenge is just going to be, like, not fair. So we're going to do night difficulty, and one of the first big differences between the original game and the Grand Edition is you can play as the evil and horrible Asgarji's Empire. In the original game, you needed a cheat code to do that. It was doable, I think, but like you needed a Game Genie or a cheat code. And either way, this game has better developed characters and better options. So let's actually look through our countries. There's New Almekia, which is formerly the kingdom of Padsdow. Its aging ruler welcomes the exiled Prince Lance. Prince Lance, by the way, is exiled. He's this guy on your right. And he wants to restore his father's throne. There's Norgard, which isn't at all based on the Nordic states. The icy north, called the Land of Beasts, where King Vaynard, the White Wolf, leads his hardy knights to unify the realm. There's Laonia, a pious land nestled in the Alpine Heights, bravely led by the Oracle Queen Leonise. She seeks to fulfill her country's destiny. Whatever that is, I don't know. There's Escalio, a beautiful land of natural wonders, but under the mad tyrant Drist, its people face a dark future indeed. Asgarji's Empire, a young nation forged by rebellion under the militant Emperor Zemachis. It brings misery and the fire of war to Forsena. So by the way, for those who don't know, Asgarji's used to be Almekia. Just so you know. Then this Zemicus guy took over. And then there's Carleon, a small country surrounded by the sea. The rune power glows strong here, ruled by the peaceful and wise King Kai. Whew, there's a Dragon Ball reference there, but I'm not going to go for it. We're going to play as... By the way, each of these sort of has their own difficulty level. Some of them are easier than others, mainly because of the number of directions you have to defend. And we're going to go with that. We're going to go with the Kingdom of Padsdown, New Almikia. And we're going to hit that decide, this is my path, and it tells you some more details about it. It tells you the ruler, the number of castles you have, all of these other things. And knights are important because they're like your generals, and you need knights to control armies, and creatures are your creatures. They are what they sound like. And remember, this is a tactical RPG, so it's going to be heavy on the repetitive battles and the grinding, unfortunately, but I can try to blow past that. So it says now loading, and it gives you this intro screen. Forsena, a land of powerful runes. Do I have to hit a button here? Once the central kingdom, Almikia, led the other countries of Forsena, but long war against Norgard, and you can, forgive me, brought suffering and chaos to the land. In year 214 of the Sacred King, Almikia is finally poised to return order to the land. So Forsena and not Forsena. So Almikia and Norgard fought a huge war, and Almikia is finally winning. And now we're at the capital, Logres. And there's a whole bunch of talking in this beautifully rendered anime that I don't have subtitles for and honestly can't understand. I can tell you the gist, however. This guy is Zemicus, and the guy in the background is a Death Knight by the name of Kador. He's evil. He wants to usurp the kingdom. So in a corridor at Logres Castle, Gariant is the guy who's speaking. He's on the right. Prince Lance, thank God you're safe. So basically things go to pot real fast. Not the fun kind either. What's going on? It's rebellion. They've taken over the castle. You're in danger. I must get you to safety. Prince Lance, I found you. General, I'm glad you're safe. Grrr. Stay away from him, Prince Lance. He leads the traitors. What? I can't afford to let anyone from Almikia's royal family live. You must die here, Prince. May you find peace with your father in the next world. Father? Garion, where's father? King Hengst. I'm sorry. He's dead at the hands of Kador the Death Knight. Cool. Little anime fight? That could be neat. And again, this is 2000s anime, so don't expect Dragon Ball Super or One Punch Man or anything like that. Also, Lance is still a kid, so he's pretty much just a chump. So this isn't going to end well for him. I don't think I need to say spoiler alert that he lost his empire. I understood like 2 of those words. Speaking of anime, Berserk finished its first season. I did a review of that if you've never seen it before. It was very enjoyable. It's exactly what you would think of Berserk, but I didn't realize it was only going to be a 1-season thing. Fool. Stand between me and the prince, and I will cut you down. Grr, just a scratch. I am Gariant of 100 battles. You will not pass no matter what the cost. Prince, you must escape. Never! To lose my home, my father, and now abandon you, I would rather die than flee like a shameful coward. Lance, please hear me. The country is lost, but while you live, there is hope. Don't throw your life away for nothing. True courage is continuing on in the spite of setbacks or shame. Now run! Gariant, no, I can't leave you behind. Alright, enough. I'm not gonna pretend to be a great voice actor. That's not really what I do. Oh snap! What's this? A knife. Thrown by some chick? What? Who's this? We don't know her. And he's the king, so he ought to. So who is this random warrior woman? Well, we'll find out. Don't get in my way, woman. So, one thing you're gonna notice about this game, and I'm not gonna read it along. You can take a minute and read it as you'd like. Is that this game is definitely text heavy at the start. It is a cult hit, but one reason why it might not have succeeded, this is just the game critic in me talking, is because it is so text heavy up front that people want to see action. They want to get right into a game. I realize that leads to really boring tutorial levels like Mega Man is known for, and if you've ever seen Egoraptor's video about Mega Man, you would really understand that. Whine, 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 whine. Don't give up. You'll find a way, but you must grow strong. So basically, it's a lot of stuff goes wrong for the prince. His kingdom gets taken over, but he's got an ally to the west, so he's able to run. And King Cole, I mean, that's just awesome, right? He's a merry old soul. Or perhaps he's just a jazz legend. So, this woman's a badass, by the way. She's one of my favorite characters in this game. The second month of year 215, Zemicus betrays his lord, the king is killed, the capital is seized. Alright, the long history of the kingdom ends, and then up top it tells you the Asgarges Empire led by Zemicus is born. In the wake of chaos, oh man. Alright, we get it. In the wake of chaos, heroes seek to change their fate. Good. Can we play now? Alright, at Calmary Castle in Padstow. Damn it. The king's welcoming to the prince. Thanks for seeing me. Come to you as an exile to ask for your help. Yeah, the news has gotten to me. So what do you want to do now? We gotta go kick butt. Right, that's our plan. Garion taught me how selfish it was. I choose to live and fight to restore Almekia. This is like some Crusader Kings stuff. You're a punk. And now me. Right? Like, this is that guy. Reminds me of Catelyn Stark in a weird way. He's gonna go to war. He's like, so basically, let's just make Lance the king. That's what this amounts to. Is that so? My son, let me ask you and Prince Lance a question. What's the most important quality for a king to possess? Power, father. It compels those beneath us to obey our commands. Spoken like a true Crusader king. It's the trust. The king can't guide a country without the trust of its people. Well, guess who's the new heir of this kingdom? Since my son's a complete pud and I'm an old man, Padstow is a new nation because, let's face it, Prince Lance is the king. What? Why? Huh? How? Don't ask. That's what I said. Father, you're insane. You've gone senile and your son's a power-hungry bastard. I'm sorry, it's just true. And he says that. He calls him out. He's like, you're a self-absorbed jerk. Like, forget you. You're not a king. It's Almekia's fucking property anyway, man. Like, we're giving it back. And after all, now that, since he's, I guess, always been a vassal, he could always be, like, appointed as a despot or something, right? I mean, is that it? I'll bring priest to Forsena. Glad to hear your determination. Let's prepare a counterattack. The knights are at your command. May you lead them well. Alright, so here we go. Finally, we're at the game. And as you can see, this is the organizing phase. So there's really two phases. First of all, is there any way to zoom out? So the triangle or the top button gives you this. That's like your budget, basically. Alright, so we have here a map of the world. Now, this is not a zoomed out map. I wish I could get you one of those. Saving, right. One thing I do when I'm going to play this game is I am going to use save states. Just because it's easier to do episodes that way. If I have to cut off in the middle of one, I can hit a save state and be good to go. Options. Let's see what options there are real fast. World map. Back. Okay. Combat. For now, we're going to keep attack animation on, but that's probably going to go off because it really slows the game down, but I do want to show it off. Name units, experience gain, show, comm info, show. I want to see everything. I like to know what's going to happen. Back, system. That's nice. Actually, it cooperates with an analog stick. Wow. Other. Sound, save data. Yeah. Location. This tells you where all your leaders are. So if you need to know where Lance is with his army, that tells you it. He's the guy on the left, and his army's the stuff on the right. And the beauty of this game is I could talk about it forever and still not really explain the intricacies of it. You're just going to have to sort of watch how I play it and see how it goes. Because each of these little creatures has its own use. Units. New Almikia. This tells me how strong my various leaders are. And Melgant is really powerful. He's a Black Knight. You do get more leaders over time. Like Lance starts off at level 1 because he's a prince, he's a punk, but over time he can level up and graduate kind of like a Pokemon. And no, they don't all start off equal. I mean, Asgargis is the purple flag, and they're huge compared to me. I really wish there was a way to zoom out, because it would make strategizing a lot easier. If the flag is floating, it's got troops in it. If it's not floating, it doesn't. So that's how you can tell where there's an empty castle you can advance your men on. Usually you want to leave some dude in your capital, just in case, but also roads decide what you can attack, so you can attack across this road, because there's the river's got a crossing, but here you can't. Stuff like that, right? It's basic strategy gaming. Domain. Domain tells you, this is a zoomed out map. So let's look at that a little more, right? Domain, it's a zoomed out map. It shows you where you were on the map, I guess, and then zoomed out, right? So as you take more territory, this map will change. It also shows you the little roads. I'm trying to like highlight it. And that's really vital because it tells you where to attack next almost. You follow the roads. You build up your troops and expand in one direction at a time and try to leave as few fronts open for attack as you can. So if I were green invading purple, I wouldn't just go here and then spread out like that, because I would have to defend 1, 2, 3 castles. I would attack here, then maybe here, and I'm still only defending 2 points, and then I can move these guys. Well, I have to defend against yellow, so that's a consideration as well. Right, but you get what I'm saying. The organized phase is where you can summon monsters with spare mana, move your units around. That's important, because you need to make sure your troops are in the right place, which is why a zoomed out mode would actually be really nice. And you can send units on a quest too. Your leaders can go on quests and they can discover new heroes or new items or get themselves poisoned or whatever, right? And you can finally organize. And this is what's really important, right? When armies are in the same place, you can rearrange them. You can choose which guy is where. You can even rearrange different stuff. So let me go to a more packed up thing, because I'm going to teach you how to build armies real fast. Organize. Order. So, if I wanted to build one general who is really powerful, I would take the best units from one army and move them over. Each unit has a cost. That cost is in the top right corner. It's on the top bar on the bottom right side of the top bar. And you can see over on the far right of each column, right under where my cursor is, how much mana each guy can control and each guy has got equipped. So this army here is 300. Another thing is to always look at the level of a monster, because that matters. Level 4 ghoul is better than a level 3 ghoul, even though ghouls are really crap. They're 15 mana and they suck. But they can be advanced up to the higher level units, which are better, but you got to make them survive. Whereas angels are decent at everything to start with, but you got to level them suckers up. Wyverns can turn into certain types of monsters. Dragons can turn into certain types of monsters. But I haven't even showed you combat, and I've gone on forever. So with that in mind, I'm going to take a break here. But since this is the first video of this series, I do want to encourage you to hit the like and subscribe button on these videos. It really does help this channel grow, and it'll really help me know that you guys are watching and commenting on what I am playing, and it'll give me some pointers, and it'll give you a chance to interact with me, because I really do enjoy that. So without further ado, thank you for joining me, and as always on this channel, La Paz.